Good afternoon, good day, good evening, whatever time it is at whatever part of the world you are watching from. Welcome back to the Island Girl Tees channel, and we're here to have another one-on-one discussion. For those of you who are stopping by, my subscribers, thank you so much, friends and family. If you're stopping by for the very first time, you are indeed welcome. I'm so glad to have you, and I hope you enjoy this journey with your island girl. Now, we have embarked on a brand new month. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now April 2025. Time is going by quickly. And so as the time is passing, we just want to continue pushing out the content, continue inspiring and motivating in whatever way possible, however I can reach as many fathers, mothers, boys and girls, young people, children, whoever you are, wherever you're watching from, I am here to inspire you. So today is maybe, I think it was April the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. We're just two or three days into the month of April. And so we want to start off a new theme. For those of you who missed last month's theme, we were highlighting our wonderful women across the globe and just spending time to encourage them. But now that we're into a new month, we want to talk about the topic of love. The topic of love. So the next few videos should be very interesting. And as you all know, I love to come up with many surprises. More than likely, I'm going to just, put in here some surprise videos on random topics in the month of April, just to keep you all spicy, keep things spiced up and keep things interesting, I should say. And so I hope that you enjoy this video. So today I want to talk a little bit about love and what it means, first of all. So if you're ready for the ride and you want to hear about more of what I have to say, then stay tuned. All right, folks, here we go. So what is the definition of love? And of course, my memory's good, but not that good. So I wrote down a little spiel that I Googled, and just to give us a broad definition of love, and then we'll talk about one aspect of love today. Here we go. What is love? Love is a complex and multifaceted human experience encompassing strong affection, deep care, and emotional attachment, often expressed through actions, words, and shared experiences. So I want to talk about a certain aspect of love today, and that certain aspect of love is simply loving yourself. Just loving yourself. And so you might ask the question, Trish, how do I begin to love others? What is the step to even love others to begin with? What is the very first step in love? And this is just my opinion, Island Girl T's opinion. The first step in love and mastering love is to practice on yourself. Love yourself. And how do you love yourself? That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. When you think about love in terms of relationships, you spend that time with someone, whether it is your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whether it is a mother or father, a cousin, a brother or sister. You spend time with the person that you love, and how do you express to them your love? You spend time with them. You talk with them, you listen to them, and you do a lot of things that more than likely not everybody's going to do who's just an acquaintance of that individual. And so when it comes to loving someone else, the first step is we have to love ourselves first. If you don't love yourself first, then you have no love to give to anybody else, okay? That is number one. Number two, we have this notion of if you're lonely, find a friend and spend time with that friend, do things with that friend, share experiences with that friend. And those things are true. But in order to really get to know yourself, to dote on yourself, to spend time with yourself, to love yourself, is to spend time alone. Spending time alone is part of loving yourself, believe it or not. Why? I'm glad you asked the question for the second time. When you spend time with yourself, you're able to have that quiet time. You're able to really tap into your thoughts, tap into that creative side of your brain, and you're able to think about yourself and think about where you're going in life. Think about, what can I do to better myself? Okay? And then you start to think about, number one is our health. Okay? Loving yourself is taking care of your health. All right? So for those of us who maybe we're working, and we're not taking the time to, take care of our minds, our bodies, the things that we put in our mouth, our health, our eating habits. This is a part of self-love, okay? So I want to come here to encourage you today. If you're not eating healthy, if things have gone downhill, you've been stressed, you've been working hard and not spending time to take note of what you're putting in your mouth, take time to put together a healthy diet, okay? Start drinking lots of water, eating some fresh vegetables, fruit, some protein, going for walks alone. You don't have to go with anybody. And what are you doing when you're doing that? You're investing time in your body, soul, and mind, in yourself, okay? That this is part of loving yourself, is taking care of you in the physical sense, okay? So going for a nice long walk, enjoying the cool air, the cool breeze, having and giving yourself space and time to think about life, about your life, about where you are at in life and where you want to go in life. Maybe you're not in a very good place, and that's okay, because in order to progress, you got to start from somewhere. So wherever you are in life right now, just stop, take a moment to breathe, and take time to love yourself by simply spending some alone time, thinking about where you are in life, where you're at. Think about, where do I want to go? What am I putting into my body that's causing my health to possibly decline? Am I not exercising enough? Am I not eating properly? Am I not feeding my mind with the good things and right things that I should, okay? So we talked a little bit about health, eating properly, exercise, going for walks, just having some alone time. A second part of loving ourselves is just self-care and maintenance, okay? Personal hygiene. This is part of just loving yourself. You want to smell good. You want to look good. Maybe you want to go and, buy yourself a nice outfit, do your hair nicely, however that might be for you, okay? So these are the physical aspects of self-love and self-care and self-maintenance. Another aspect of self-love is to take time to feed our minds with the right things. With the right things. You ask me, Trish, what does that look like? How do I feed my mind? I know how to feed my body. I know how to take care of myself. I'm in the gym every day. I'm eating properly. My grooming is on point. My hygiene is on point. So that's one aspect of loving myself. But how do I feed in my mind? How do I grow my mental state? And again, I'm so glad you asked the question, okay? And we can do this by, listening to some meditational videos. We can do this by reading some books, some motivational books, books that inspire you as an individual, whatever that looks like for you. How do we feed our mind? By spending time to talk to people who are excited about life. They are excited about the future, and they are looking forward to just simply growing themselves mentally as well. So that they're also reading books. They're sharing information. They are bouncing ideas off of you and you off them. And by doing this, they have that saying, a biblical saying. It might even be a part of a scripture that says, iron does what? It sharpeneth iron. So you get two strong-minded people together and you get to bounce ideas off of each other, encourage each other, however that might be, whether it's sharing a kind word, just simply feeding off each other and saying some positive things. Maybe perhaps you have a particular issue that you're dealing with, and you can simply bounce that off a good friend that has a positive and a clear mind, and get just some good wisdom, and be able to just grow mentally that way. Okay. So we talked about the physical aspect of love, taking care of oneself, loving oneself. We talked about the mental aspect of feeding our minds with good things, okay? Good things. Making sure we're around positive people as much as we can, okay? Another way of loving ourselves is to grow in knowledge. I guess this falls under the category of the mental part of self-love. Okay, so growing in knowledge. Don't just take someone's word for it. You research it yourself. Go and look it up and find out how this particular thing works. What does it do? How can I apply this to my own life? Now, I'm just going to give you an example. And this is just in terms of my own personal growth. I work in the field of ophthalmology. For those of you who do not know what that means, it's a big word for working with eyes. Okay, so oftentimes I'm in clinic, I'm working, and there is a disease that I've never seen before, I've never heard of before, and I want to know right there on the spot, what does this mean? And how can I use this to add to my own knowledge? So I will right away go on Google, I'll look it up, I'll research it, to find out what this disease is, what it means, how does it affect the eye, what is the symptoms, what is the treatment. And by doing that, I'm naturally adding to my wealth of knowledge, okay? And that is going to benefit me in terms of just my own personal growth and loving on myself and being prepared with that knowledge. So the next patient that comes along that has a question about this topic, I can give them an answer. So loving yourself is also building yourself. Building yourself. And you are the only one that can determine what that looks like for you, okay? Building yourself can be done in many, many different ways. And so we want to make sure that every category or every aspect of our life is being taken care of and catered to. And sometimes we have to do it in one stage at a time, okay? I think our health is probably one of the biggest ways of self-love. If you ever think of the person, or even if you ever think of yourself, have you ever felt super, confused at some point in your life? You've got like brain fog, you can't think properly, you're trying to make some big decisions and it's very, very difficult. Sometimes that's because of lack of sleep and lack of putting the right things in our body that can cause that brain fog. Something so simple as what kind of food that we eat can affect how we are loving on ourselves. That's huge. It is huge. And so I encourage you today. It sounds crazy. It sounds very simplistic, but it's very, very true. Very true. Just take note of what you're putting in your mouth. By doing this, you want to have a clear mind, to have clear thoughts, to make clear decisions, to make good decisions, rational decisions that will help you in the future. Okay? And by doing this, we begin to do what? Just add to our self-love and to grow and be happy as a person. And when people come around us, they're happy to be around us. Why? Because they can see by looking at us that, hey, this woman loves herself. I see the way she dresses, the way she takes care of her body, her skin, her hair, her teeth, everything about her exudes self-love. And so we attract who we are as a person. Keep that in mind. If you hate yourself, you will also hate other people. You will also make other people's lives miserable because you yourself don't love on you. And so when we choose to love on ourselves and add to ourselves, physically and mentally, we begin to also attract those kind of people who are also working on themselves. They are positive and they're looking at us and saying, oh my goodness, I just love being around this person. Her energy, his energy is infectious. And that's what we want. Have you ever been around someone who's just infectious? Their laugh, their smile. Why do you think that is? That's because that individual, they have taken time to love themselves. They've maybe even gone ghost on the world for a day or two or a week or two to go internally and to look into themselves and to tap in to their inner self, to realize and to just do some self-inspection. Where can I build on my character, on my physical part of me? How can I do better? And when you just take a break from the world for a while, take a break from social media, and you go internally and you start to look at the different areas of your life that need to be fixed and need to be improved, I'm telling you, that self-love will begin to grow. And don't kid yourself, other people will begin to notice you and say, oh my goodness, what are you doing? You know, why are you so happy? Why are you so excited? You're glowing, your skin is glowing, your eyes are, you're happy. I can see you're happy. That's because of what? Self-love and self-growth. This is the beginning of what true love actually means. This is the beginning. Once you start to love yourself, every other type of love that you are looking for, that you long to have in your space, you will begin to attract like a magnet that love to yourself and that love and happiness in your space. Because what? You yourself exude that love. Because you have first loved what? And who? You have first loved yourself. And you want the people to see that. You want them to know. And by doing that, you will encourage so many people. So many people will be encouraged by you. They'll want to be around you. They'll want to learn from you. They'll want you to mentor their children, their young people. Young people will want to be around you because they're like, whatever he has, whatever she has, it is magnetic. It is so just enticing, and I just want to be around him. I just want to be around her. That's self-love that's shining through, and you want to have that effect on people. You don't want to walk in a room, people be like, look at you, be like, whoo-wee. I don't know what it is about him or her, but they're just so negative. Man, right? You don't want anybody to say that about you. When they come into your presence, they should automatically feel that electrifying, magnetic, exciting energy from you and be able to even recharge from you. But in order to give that love, in order to show that love, we have to go inwards. We got to go down deep. We got to dig down deep and start to pour back into ourselves. And hey, I understand we live in a busy world. Our lives are busy. You know, we have families, we have work responsibilities. We're doing extracurricular activities after work, and we're trying to tend to everybody but ourselves. Can I hear an amen? Right? We're trying to tend to everybody but ourselves. But I'm begging you, please take a pause. Take a pause. And take care of yourself. Pour back into yourself. And I promise you, you're going to start to feel better. You're going to start to exude and shine. And that love is going to start to just be like the strongest rays of sunshine that you could possibly experience in a lifetime. All right? So that is my motivational inspiration for the day. I hope that all who is watching this video, I hope that you've been blessed. I hope your day's been blessed. And I just want to encourage you today to have a blessed day, have a blessed week. Until next time, until my next video, stay tuned because your Out and Grow Tea has a whole lot more coming here the month of April. We'll talk to you and see you soon. Bye for now. Mwah.